It is now time, though, to take an in-depth look at what's making news this morning. And we're joined by Kirsten, a research fellow at Deakin University and a rural reporter. She joins us in the dark because I think you're in Western Australia now. Last time we spoke to you, you were on a remote cattle station. I've been keeping up to date on the socials. You're touring the top end of the nation. What's it been like?
Thanks, James. Yeah, it's been great. I just got off the Gibb River Road, which was crazy. Our fridge broke. We needed a new airbag in the caravan, but in Broome now and having a nice relax here. So I wish I could show you behind me. There is, I think, a whole lot of bats that you might hear, and hopefully one doesn't try and attack me while speaking to you.
A beautiful part of the world. Yeah, I saw the looked like a helicopter ride or something over parts of the Kimberley. Yeah, it looks like you are having a fabulous time. What have you got for us this morning?
Yes, thank you. Well, look, tributes are flowing for David Stratton, I think, across many outlets. The ABC, of course, included, and The Guardian's got a wonderful in-depth look at his life. He, of course, died at the age of 85, and I certainly remember him growing up watching at the movies, or the movie show as it was on SBS in the early days. And you just look at how long it actually ran for to just show how loved it really was. So it began in 1986 on the SBS and ran till 2004 there, moved to the ABC, and it ran until 2014 there. And just that magic between the two, I think David with his British accent and his love of French and European cinema and disdain for anything kind of blockbuster made for really iconic moments. And I think probably one of the best that we're all remembering is in 1992 when Romper Stomper was released. Margaret gave it 5 stars and David refused to give it any rating at all because he disliked it so much. And then, of course, later he was famously the director of the film spilt some wine, tipped some wine on him. But look, he had a love of films his entire life. So he was a Sydney Film Festival director from the 1960s into the 1980s. And his love of film came from his grandmother, who he was sent to live with back in England during the Second World War, and went to see a film with her every single day nearly. And he kept that up his entire life, watched a film that he hadn't seen, at least one each day. So he's been remembered by his family as being someone who was adored by family, friends and the public. And they have invited people to watch their own favourite movie in honour of him, or David's favourite movie, which was Singin' in the Rain.
Such an absolute classic. And I love how he talked about meeting Gene Kelly as well and how that was a real rewarding moment for him. Your next topic is about the Bendigo Writers Festival. What's going on there?
Yes, I'm feeling far away from home, but this one's pulling me back to Victoria. There's a growing number of authors and academics who are actually withdrawing from the Bendigo's Writers Festival, which is on this weekend. It starts today, in fact. And it's really over concerns about freedom of speech and concerns about the ability to speak freely about the war in Gaza. So there's a speaker's code that the guests have been given, which the Age says could be considered that's asking people to avoid language that could be considered inflammatory, divisive or disrespectful. Now, there have been quite a few headliner speakers, such as Dr. Evelyn Araluen, a First Nations poet, Janine Leanne, Wurundjeri writer and poet, Professor Claire Wright, a guest curator, journalist Jess Hill. They've all withdrawn, and Dr. Randa Abdel Fattah, a Macquarie University academic, who said that she could not appear at the festival as a Palestinian, and she says that the wording of the code requires her to engage in self-censorship. And her future book that is coming out soon is about an author and journalist, a Palestinian author and journalist. So it's a growing concern. And it all really comes down to a code that the La Trobe University has adopted, that the festival has has also adopted. And the code itself is a little bit controversial. Universities Australia is where this code has originated from. And indeed, The Age is reporting that several universities have chosen not to adopt this particular definition, saying that it conflates anti-Semitism with criticism of the Israeli government and Zionism. So the Bendigo Writers Festival organisers said it is committed to upholding an event that engages in respectful debate and open-minded discussion, and it felt it necessary, and La Trobe University felt it was necessary to emphasise the importance of safety and well-being, and that such codes are not uncommon in the festival. So I think we'll wait and see how it all pans out this weekend.
And Kirsten, before we let you go quickly, a lot of unis are struggling a bit at the moment. UTS has created some headlines by giving its staff some fairly unusual stress management tips.
Yes, and that's really caught my eye this morning. Some bizarre stress management advice has been given, apparently by an outside health company. So UTS, the University of Technology Sydney, is going through I suppose, a restructure, and it's suspended new enrolments for 146 courses across 6 faculties. It's looking to save $100 million, and it says it needs to cut 400 jobs. And so staff are obviously going through a difficult time, and they've put some stress advice up. This included doing tasks that they're dreading, such as washing delicates, organising tax receipts, or cleaning a bathroom. Other suggestions included baking a dessert, brushing or flossing teeth every day, with the added advice that dental work later in life can be painful and expensive.
I was so
now,
shocked
this
to
has not
hear
been
all
received.
this. I got to say, yeah, super shocked, don't you think? I mean, I guess it's all about distraction and trying not to focus on what's going on, but wow. I don't know if I'd be cleaning the bathroom to try and distract myself that my job might be going. But anyway.
No. Kirsten, thank you so much for joining us this morning. Enjoy Northern Australia.
I will. I certainly am. Thank you, James. Thank you, Emma.
Thank you.
It is stressful when you run out of undies, that's true. But Jesus, that's fairly ordinary advice to give your staff.